Peace. What's good, guys? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about and discuss NXT for September the 6th, 2022. This was a pretty fun, down to earth episode. There were some pretty good parts in the episode, and then there were some kind of like what the fuck parts. But more than anything, all in all, the show was fun, down to earth. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. We kick the show off with Tyler Bate. So he makes his entrance, gets on the mic, and he thanks everyone for their support and thanks Bron Breakker, who paved the way, who proved to the world on Sunday that he's Breakker, not just by name, but also by nature. And as much as he'd love to walk away having unified the titles, he's grateful to have shared a magical moment with all of us. And then he also said, with that being said, his name will be etched in the history books as the first and last NXT UK champion. And then he hopes he represented NXT UK to the best. He hopes he represented NXT UK to the best of his abilities. And out comes Gallus. So they hit the ring. They say that this ends tonight, and Tyler should be apologizing for everyone back home. He let the entire UK down. What happened to the big, strong boy? And then Bate points out that they didn't win their match either. Talking to Gallus. Joe Coffey, he laughs it off before telling him to remember who he's speaking to. And then he reminds Tyler that there's three of them, and only one of him. So Gallus, they take out and attack Tyler, but then Bron Breakker, he makes the save. And then the baby faces, they stand tall. And then Bron challenges Gallus to a match along with Tyler Bate and said they're going to kick their asses. So pretty good. I enjoyed that segment. It was kind of fun. I like this. Pretty deadly. They're backstage. They're talking about cute boys and celebrating having the tag titles, and claiming to be the greatest team of all time. Last Legend, she rolls up in the scene, and then they chatter for a good little bit, and then that was it. We come back from commercial. We get a quick interview from Meika Satomura. She admits that she's disappointed at her loss, and then a match between her and Roxanne Perez is set up for later on, which was a pretty good match, by the way. First match of the night, Doudrop and Nikki Ash versus Toxic Attraction featuring Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne. Utter bullshit with what happened here. So basically, Nikki Ash and Doudrop, they win, which makes no fucking sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, what in the actual fuck is going on? It just doesn't make any sense. They're jobbers. Nikki Ash and Doudrop are jobbers, and they've been jobbers for quite some time. It just doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing this to Toxic? It makes no sense at all. But I digress. It is what it is. Who cares? Moving on. So we get an Apollo Crews vignette. He journals about the true measure of a man and how he handles defeat. And we also see one of his eyes is all gross and bloodshot. So his eye is basically bloodshot red. That's pretty cool, but I guess this is a way to write off his quote-unquote superpowers, I guess. Second match of the night, JD McDonagh versus Wesley. Really good little back-and-forth match. In the end, McDonagh wins with the devil inside. But this is not the last time that we'll see McDonagh. We see him later on in the night. Tony D'Angelo and Stax, they're backstage hanging out when Pretty Deadly rolls up. So Tony congratulates them on their win and offers them an espresso before asking them how much did their win cost. And then Pretty Deadly is like, what are you talking about? They're super confused, and then Tony, he's impressed that they did it, and that they're on the up and up. So we have our third match of the night, which is Meiko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez. Cora Jade is back in her locker room looking at the match. She it's almost like she was going to come out and get involved, but thankfully she didn't. So this was a really good match here. Satomura wins via what's that move called again? Oh yeah, the Scorpio Rising. So yeah, pretty cool. Post match, Meiko and Roxanne, they celebrate and shake hands and whatnot. Out comes Cora Jade. She rushes the ring and she whacks Perez with a kendo stick, and then Satomura, she makes the save. So I'm fine with this. This lets us all know that the feud between Roxanne and Cora Jade is not over yet. So I like this. This is going to be a slow burn type of feud, which is great. Backstage, Bron Breakker and Tyler Bate, they're chatting, and then Bron is giving Tyler a pep talk. Damon Kemp, he does a backstage video in a studio, and so he explains his actions as to why he took out the Creeds, why he turned on them. And so he said he took Diamond Mine down from within because he didn't get the respect that he deserved, and that he takes credit for beating up Roderick Strong in the parking lot this past Sunday. And I'm like, wow, I love this shit. This is great, fantastic, and he's not wrong here. Diamond Mine was always about Roderick Strong and the Creeds, and then Ivy Nile as well. So it was always about those four individuals. Kemp was just someone just to be there, someone just in the background. He was never out in front and center like the rest of Diamond Mine. So this does make sense. It's interesting. I can't wait until he is actually able to cut a promo in the ring and not something that's like pre-recorded backstage. So Kiana James and Ariana Grace, they're about to join forces. So they're both businesswomen, and they both have a lot in common. So this is interesting to see where it goes. Really good shit here. I could see them being the second coming of Toxic once Toxic Attraction is called up to the main roster. James and Grace will be fine. So I think this is interesting. I'm all for this because it does make sense. They kind of have bratty, bitchy type of characters, and I do like that. They remind me of just two chatty patty office bitches. That's what they remind me of, kind of. Next, Ricochet versus Trick Williams. Pretty good little match here. Ricochet wins via the Shooting Star Press, and Carmella Hayes is on commentary. Moving on. So we're backstage with the D'Angelo family, and Grimes. He walks past. Cameron Grimes walks past, and Tony flags him down, and he offers him an espresso. And Grimes is like, "Nah, I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty." So Grimes said he doesn't need anybody, and then Tony says, "The last two guys who said no aren't here anymore." And he's like, "Nah, it doesn't matter. I'm not those guys." And then Stacks suggests that that's because people respect them. And then Grimes throws an espresso on Stacks, and then they start brawling. So Grimes eats a back suplex through the table, and Tony D and Stacks continue to stump and beat down Grimes. So that was pretty awesome right there. Then we have our first out of 3 falls, best of 3 series match between Axiom and Nathan Frazier. This is a pretty good match right here. I enjoyed it. Axiom wins here. I don't know why we got this. It just, to me, doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can see out of it is if these two become a tag team, because if they just continue to stay singles, they're not going to make it. You already have Trick Williams there. You have Ricochet there. You have Carmelo Hayes in that spot. You have a lot of guys who can do kind of the same thing. And if you can kind of make Axiom and Frazier into a tag team and give them a gimmick and give them characters, then this actually could work. So hopefully I'm correct in that aspect. Hopefully this all leads to a Axiom and Nathan Frazier tag team, which actually makes sense. I just wish that they would get rid of the stupid mask. A-Kid is legit. I like him, but both him and Frazier need characters. And a whole Axiom character just isn't doing it for me, you know? Moving on. We have security guards. They're hanging out of Gallus' locker room. And then big body Javi, he pulls up and he scoops around and he starts to brag. And he says NXT's about him. And then the lead security guard, he gets into it. He threatens to whip his ass and challenges him to a match next week. I think the security guard's name is Hank, so this should be some pretty decent shit right here. I've never heard of the guy. It seems like they might give him a big boss man type of character, it seems like, which is awesome. I've always loved the big boss man. Always. Just great shit. So, we'll see where this goes. Then we get an interview from Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. So Williams, he shrugs off his loss, and Carmelo Hayes says that Ricochet ain't got what he's got, and then he's beating everybody there is to beat, and he's the face of NXT, and he learns that he's going to have an NXT North American Championship match next week against the fans. Who's selected by the fans. So this is going to be NXT 2.0's 1-year episode. Then we get the main event, Bron Breakker and Tyler Bate versus Gallus, featuring the Coffee Brothers. Excuse me, Bron Breakker and Tyler Bate win. Bate gets the win via the Tyler Driver 97. Post-match, JD McDonagh, he comes out. He hits the devil inside, smiles weirdly, and walks to the crowd. And Bron Breakker's there to kind of make the save and console Tyler. And we go off the air. So this is interesting. I'm interested in seeing where this goes with all parties involved. I really wish that Ilya Dragunov would have been in the spot, because that would have been interesting, because he should have a say in this. He was injured, so he had to forfeit the title by injury, and now that the title is no longer there because of Bate losing it last Sunday, I'd be pretty pissed if I was Ilya Dragunov. That's just what I would do, just to add some heat there. But it's interesting to see where this goes involving JD McDonagh and Tyler Bate and Bron Breakker. I'm kind of excited for the 1-year anniversary episode of NXT 2.0. I've always been a fan of NXT 2.0. I've always liked it. There's been some ups and downs, but for the most part, it's been watchable. It's decent. It's cool at times, I like it. It's not like the NXT of old, which was decent, but it was just a bunch of match mark shit. But NXT 2.0, in my opinion, has been solid. It has been really solid. We've gotten some really good developed characters, and it's just interesting to see what's going to happen next week. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. This was a very fun, decent episode. Peace.
Tune in.